Welcome. Hello there. It's more of my college years. Because who isn't interested in my college years? Probably most of the world. But I'm going to go on about it anyway. So this time I'm not going to go on about my catering years at college because I've done a couple on that and I don't want to become repetitive talking about the same old stuff. This time I'm going to talk about the years before I became who I am today. We're going to talk about me art years. So, the first thing I discovered at college was the greatest art form in the history of the world. I discovered heavy metal. Not just any heavy metal though. You don't want to start with your boring one-of-the-mill bands. Oh no. I discovered Slayer and Metallica, two of the greatest bands of all time, which, if you're interested, I am going to do a versus series on. Not just one album against the other, because which album do you choose? No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first 5 Slayer albums and compare them to the first 5 Metallica albums. And we are going to see if we can get a winner. I don't think it's going to be as easy as that, but we'll give it a go. Anyway, so first thing that happened at college is I discovered heavy metal. Best art form on the planet, some would say. Well, that's me anyway. So, in my art years, me and my mate Jamie, we decided, okay, we'll go off and see Megadeth, who was one of these new bands I discovered. When we got there, so you can see the size of my shed. So imagine where I'm stood now, and this is one of about 40 speakers. To say these speakers were loud would be an understatement. By the end of the gig, by the time Megadeth had finished, it was probably about twice the distance away. But we could have been at the back. We would have most certainly have heard it. At the beginning, we were probably about same distance away again for Pantera, who were the support band. It was so loud, my ears were ringing for about 4.5 days. Jamie, I'm sure you can remember it. I'm sure you were probably the same. The other thing I had, my beautiful hair now, of course, looking awesome. Could do with a cut. Nowhere really to go at the moment and get a haircut because it's COVID times, so it's getting a bit long. Should see my son. He looks like a cockerel. Anyway, one problem with having long hair, well, there's many problems with having long hair, but one of them when you're doing art and especially painting is as you're over like this, your hair is in the paint and it smudges everything. But we'll get on to my actual ability in a bit. So I don't think the hair was the biggest problem. As I say, we'll get on to that in a moment. So my buddy, Jamie, he lived in Cosham, so every now and again I'd stay at his and he'd stay at mine. Stayed there. His bedroom, out the back, end of the garden, was a train track. How can you sleep with a train track that close? It's one of those things, I guess, is when you're living in a city where we are now, if you actually listen, you can pretty much always hear the M27 from where I live. We've also got Eastleigh Airport close, which at the moment, let's be honest, there's no planes, so it doesn't really matter, or very few planes, so they hardly make a noise. If the planes were flying, you would hear them through my videos. Hey, that's something to look forward to in the future. Didn't think of that. Bit of soundproofing could be useful. So, yeah, they were constant, it seemed, all night. It took a while, but I suppose eventually you get used to them. Once you take that noise away, though, it becomes equally hard to actually concentrate on it. And then the big issue with why I had to give up art and come to catering, because there had to be a reason. Yeah, I pretty much couldn't really draw that well and wasn't the best painter. Anyway, yeah, that was my art career. Not exactly Da Vinci. I'm certainly no Van Gogh or Van Gogh, depending on which pronunciation you like. personally. Either I do. You sort of know who he is, don't you? Some bloke called Vincent with one ear. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Cutting your ear off, but hey, I guess you do what you do. Anyway, so another story. Totally apart from that, went to the optician today. God, they know how to charge, don't they? Hey? So I got my new glasses, so 2 weeks' time, your man Andy in his shed and have some new funky glasses. They're special glasses because it's becoming, bit of age here, but as you get older, it becomes a bit harder to read. And also, I'm long sighted or very long sighted, which means that if I had random glasses for my long sightedness, it would be a bit of a pain being able to actually read in the car what was saying. So I've got these special glasses made so I can actually see. Yeah, those lenses weren't exactly cheap, but the lenses were cheap, as in these bits, the actual bits of glass in it. That's a different issue. Anyway, glass of coffee. It's a bit chilly today, not as cold as it was yesterday, mind you. Did any of you go out? Did anyone feel the cold? So I was working yesterday. Another story on that now. So, doing a bit of delivery driving at the moment for a well-known warehouse-based frozen goods company. Doing that, and every house you went to, they got their heaters blazing out, all this heat, lovely and warm in there, and they're all going, "Oh, it's a bit cold today, isn't it, mate?" Yeah. I noticed, it's definitely cold. I realised that this morning when I started, and it's now evening, and it's getting colder. But thanks for letting me know. Why do people like to point out the bloody obvious, eh? You know it's cold. You don't have to mention it. The person delivering to you shivering, he knows it's cold. I get it. It's cold. Thanks for that. Anyway, a little bit about me. 3 catering days when I was doing art. Hope you enjoy it. If you don't, well, don't watch it again. Easy, isn't it? Anyway, see ya.